Hello YouTube, my name is Nero, TV support Call of Duty World War II. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Today I would like to talk to you guys about the future of the Call of Duty franchise, and specifically, how Killstreaks should be handled going forward. I think there's a very interesting discussion to be had here, and the reason why I wanted to bring it up here today is because this past weekend was insanely fun here in Call of Duty World War II. For those that don't know, this week's Weekend Warfare was Throwback Mosh Pit. It's a special playlist that gives us these old school COD 4/Modern Warfare 2 style perks, but this time around, they gave everybody Blitzkrieg by default, and they also made it so your kill streaks could help you earn the rest of your kill streaks. This was really reminiscent of the old school Call of Duty days, back when Call of Duty was in its prime, back when streaks were powerful and frequently showed up on the map, and back when each life was exciting, because even if you were having a bad game, you knew all you had to do was string together a couple of kills, and suddenly things could snowball wildly out of control from there. I feel as though this is one of the things that COD has been missing for a long time now. In my opinion, and feel free to disagree and leave your feedback down there in the comments, but I feel as though COD recently has been missing that wow factor, that fun factor, that thing that just sucks you in to keep playing the game over and over. I talked to a lot of people in my time over Call of Duty World War II, and a lot of people tell me that they hop on, do their contracts, do their orders, and they hop off. There's really nothing drawing them into the game that keeps them wanting to play the game long term, like we saw back in Modern Warfare 2, or the original Black Ops, or Modern Warfare 3, or Black Ops 2, and keep in mind, those games didn't have contracts, they didn't have supply drops, they didn't have daily orders or any of these other things. People played the game because the game was fun. There was something about those games which drew people in, and I think a big part of that would be the kill streak systems that we saw in those various Call of Duty games. But keep in mind, pretty much each one of those games had a different style of streaks, right? Some of them had traditional kill streaks, some had point streaks, some had score streaks, some had like a mix of all of them. It was a really weird time in the Call of Duty franchise, and after playing Call of Duty World War II this weekend and experiencing a different streak system than the score streaks that we've grown accustomed to, I've really started to wonder, is it time for Call of Duty to make a change? Is it time for COD to go back to the way things were in those previous games? I think there's definitely an interesting discussion to be had here. Now, I know right out the gate, some of you guys hate that idea, right? Some of you really think that kill streaks just encourage camping and that score streaks are the only way to go, but are they really? Like, I like score streaks as much as the next guy, but are they really the way to go? Do they really make people play the objective more so than they otherwise would have? Because Call of Duty has been trying to push this idea on the community for years now, and I'm not sure that it's actually working. All it really seems to do is make it harder to get streaks in the first place, thus making it so streaks are less of a factor by and large, and in turn, I really do think that slows down the matches, even though in theory, it should have the opposite effect, right? You would think that because you have to play the objective to get your score streaks, that everybody would be playing the objective, but as you guys know, COD players don't play the objective as much as they probably should, and I think all it really does is make it hard for players to carry bad teammates, right? Because in older Call of Duty games, if you get cursed with a bad team, which happens so freaking often, like I love retweeting scores that you guys send to me on Twitter of you guys absolutely carrying your team and still losing. Like, it's painful how bad the balancing is sometimes. But back in the older Call of Duty games, if you had a really bad team, you could string together a couple of kills, get some air support, and use that air support to help you take the objective. But these days, if you have a bad team, you have to take the objective in order to get your kill streaks, but you can't take the objective because you have no kill streaks. Like, it's a real catch-22, and I honestly think that making a comeback nowadays with score streaks is actually much harder than it was way back in the day. And keep in mind, there is nobody out there who cares more about winning matches than me, right? Like, as you guys know, when I play Call of Duty World War II, I play it solo like 99% of the time. Like, when's the last time you saw somebody in my party in one of my gameplays? Like, it never happens, right? But regardless of that, I still win over 73% of my matches. My score per minute is like up in the 400s. My kill death ratio is like 2.2 or something. I always play the objective. I always try to win. I always try to do well because that's how I like to play Call of Duty. And the reason why I bring this up is not because I'm trying to brag or anything, but I want to bring it up because I want to let you guys know that I'm not like your average COD pub stomper, right? Like, I'm not your average player who has like a 3 KD but has like a 0.4 win-loss ratio because they never play the objective and they rage quit every time there's a challenge. challenge. I don't do that. I'm the complete opposite of that, and I still think that Killstreaks may actually be better than Scorestreaks for the future of the Call of Duty series. But of course, we have to judge each game on a case-by-case basis, right? Because just because Scorestreaks may not be working out all that well here in Call of Duty World War II, it does not mean that Scorestreaks are bad for the series in general, right? Because I feel as though Black Ops 2 is a great example of Scorestreaks being done right. I mean, you got rewarded for playing the objective in that game, and boy, were you rewarded. Like, those streaks were ridiculously powerful and ridiculously fun, but at the same time, you still have other games out there, like COD 4 and Modern Warfare 2, which had stackable traditional-style kill streaks, and then you have games like Modern Warfare 3, which had point streaks, which could stack on each other, while at the same time, it rewards you for playing the objective. So, there are lots of answers out there to the question of how should Call of Duty handle streaks going forward, and I'd love to hear what you guys think down there in the comment section below. Do you think that COD should return to stackable kill streaks? Do you think that point streaks should make a return, or are you happy with the score streak system that we know today? Because keep in mind, it pretty much has been confirmed that Black Ops 4 will be returning with the score streak system that we saw here in Call of Duty World War II, and the one, of course, that we saw back in Black Ops 3. So it looks like we're getting more of the same going forward, but do you think it's time for a change here in the Call of Duty franchise? I'd love to hear your thoughts and feedback on that down there in the comment section below. And once again, this was all inspired by this week's Weekend Warfare. I had a lot of fun playing with those stackable kill streaks, and I'd love to hear what you guys think down there in the comment section below. But speaking of this weekend, I have one more thing I would like to get off my chest, something that's really been bothering me, and it really just goes back to Black Ops 4 and the entire idea of the Black Ops Pass, because pretty much everything these days goes back to the Black Ops Pass. But as you guys know, DLC 3 just hit the Xbox and the PC, and as you guys know, I have all platforms, but I played the majority of my Call of Duty on the Xbox, therefore I'm now experiencing the maps for the very first time, and I've got to tell you guys, my experience has not been great so far, and it's not because the maps themselves are bad. Now, to be clear, my reviews so far, my first impressions are the DLC is not all that great. I really like Stalingrad, but the other maps are just very meh to me. But it's not the maps I'm worried about, right? It's the DLC itself that I'm worried about, because the DLC itself is killing my experience here in Call of Duty World War II. Like, when I can actually find a match and play 6v6 on a good connection, I have a blast, but because I have DLC 3 installed now, most of my matches are like 3v3 or 4v4, or like at best like 5v6 or something like that, and oftentimes there are very laggy connections, and the reason why is because the number of players that still play Call of Duty World War II that have all the DLC installed, that number is pretty low as compared to previous years. So because I have this DLC now, my matchmaking is much more restricted than it was previously, and now it's much harder to find matches. It goes back to that age-old problem of I paid for this content, and it's against my best interest to continue trying to play this content. Like, it's honestly best for me to just uninstall all the DLC that I've paid for if I want to find matches quickly and easily that are full of 6v6 and of course have a decent connection. That's a really bad system, right? Obviously, this has been a problem with Call of Duty ever since map packs were first introduced, and it's going to be a problem yet again with Black Ops 4. Like, we know it's going to happen. They're going to try to fix it by making it so you either have the Season Pass or you don't have the Season Pass, but I don't think that's going to fix as many issues as people think it's going to fix, right? Because here in Call of Duty World War II, and I don't have any numbers to share with you guys, but just off my gut feeling here, I have a feeling that the majority of fans either have the Season Pass already or they don't have the Season Pass, and I feel as though the number of people who have like DLC 1 only, or they have DLC 1 and DLC 3, but they don't have DLC 2, I feel as though those people are in the minority. Like, very few people out there are actually like that, so I feel as though the same thing's gonna be happening in Black Ops 4. We're gonna have the same situation where once the game gets a little bit older, it's going to be harder and harder to find matches and have them actually be full and have them actually have a good connection, and eventually, just like every other year dating back to pretty much the beginning of Call of Duty, fans are going to have to uninstall the DLC that they paid for if they want to play that game, which is a really, really bad system. It's just another reason why the Black Ops Pass is a terrible idea. I can go on and on talking about this, but you guys have heard it all before. Like, you guys understand that there are many downsides to the Black Ops Pass. There are some upsides, don't get me wrong, there are definitely some upsides, but I feel as though, and I think that the majority of fans out there also feel as though the downsides outweigh the upsides, and therefore that's why we're trying to influence some change over there at Activision and Treyarch. Though unfortunately, they haven't said anything specific about the Black Ops Pass since all the backlash. They've been pretty much ignoring it. Occasionally, the Treyarch community manager will come out and say, yes, we are going to be addressing that soon, but he's been saying soon for like 2 months, so we really have no idea if he's going to address it in any way, shape, or form. And the Black Ops 4 beta is right around the corner. For those who don't know, in just 2 days' time, the Black Ops 4 beta will be hitting the PlayStation 4, and then next weekend, it's going to be available on all platforms. So I have a feeling if they're going to address it whatsoever, it's going to to be after the beta. I don't think they want to talk about it while the beta is actually going on, but I really do hope some change ends up happening, because I would hate to see this happen again with Black Ops 4. This entire idea of I have to uninstall the DLC that I paid for because I can't find matches, or when I do find matches, they're not full or they have a laggy connection. Though I must admit, it is getting better. With each passing day, my connection and my lobbies are getting better here in Call of Duty World War II, and I think that's due to more and more people actually installing the DLC and more people coming back now that Call of Duty Days of Summer is finally upon us. But ladies and gentlemen, that's pretty much all I have for you guys here in this video. I wanted to talk about last week's Weekend Warfare because I had a lot of fun with it. I'd love to hear what you guys think about the future of streaks here in the Call of Duty franchise down there in the comment section below. And I also wanted to talk about my experience so far with DLC 3 and the problems that DLC in the Call of Duty franchise inherently brings down upon its fan base, right? Because I'm reminded of it after playing this past week. It's like, man, this is really frustrating that just because I now have this DLC, that suddenly it's hard for me to find lobbies and the connection's bad and so on and so forth, right? It's a never-ending problem. I was talking about this last year with Modern Warfare Remastered. I was talking about the year before with Black Ops 3. It's been a constant issue in the Call of Duty franchise, and unless something happens, it's going to be an issue yet again with Call of Duty Black Ops 4. But once again, guys, the beta does come out in just 2 days for the PlayStation. It's going to be next week for all platforms. Definitely interested in that. Of course, I will be covering it extensively. I'll be trying out the beta and seeing everything there is to see and really seeing how good the game actually is. Very excited about that because I'm one of the few YouTubers out there who has not been flown out by Activision or Treyarch to actually play the game early or experience it early in any way, shape, or form. So I've never played the game. I'm super excited about that, and I'm excited for Call of Duty in general. Like, I don't want to try to paint this picture that, like, I'm not excited for Black Ops 4 or that I hate Treyarch or that I hate what's going on with Call of Duty. I do want the Black Ops Pass to change. That's why I've talked about it so many times here on my channel. That's why I'm doing everything I can within my power to influence change in the Call of Duty series, but I'm only one person. If we're really going to be seeing some change happening, other YouTubers need to start talking about it yet again like they did last month, and they need to start getting articles written up by mainstream media, and forum posts need to be made, and Reddit posts need to be made. All these things need to continue happening if we want to actually influence change over the Black Ops Pass. I have seen some people out there saying that they're going to be boycotting the game, and I can really respect that, but I'm not sure that boycotting a game that you love and just refusing to play a series that you really enjoy and that you've been playing for 10 years is going to change up the DLC model for that game, right? I mean, we've seen that happen with Black Ops 3. How many people were boycotting Black Ops 3 and their supply drop system, hoping to get things to change there? That obviously did not end up working out the way they wanted, right? I mean, just yesterday, when Days of Summer went live, they put in that new camo into supply drops, and the only way to get that new camo is via supply drops, right? And the same is true for the M14 and every other gun they've released. Like, Black Ops 3 is more DLC than game. Would you say that the boycotting actually worked there? You look at another game like Star Wars Battlefront. That game obviously had a ton of boycotting, but when it came out, it still had 6 million copies sold. It was still one of the best-selling games that year. So I completely respect the people who want to speak with their wallet. I completely respect the people that are going to be 100% boycotting the game, but there are lots of us out there that just really like the Call of Duty series, and we want to see change happen, and we're doing everything we can, but we still want to play the game, right? Like, obviously, the reason why we're so passionate about this subject is because we love the Call of Duty franchise, we love the Call of Duty games, and therefore we want to actually play those games, right? Like, we may not agree with the DLC model, but we still want to play the games themselves, so it's a really exhausting situation to be a Call of Duty fan right now, right? Obviously, like, a lot of us are still hyped for Black Ops 4, we love Call of Duty World War II, we love the game in general, but we're still just always pushing back against Activision. Like, I wish Activision just was not the publisher anymore. Like, does Activision even really help the situation now all that much? Like, they obviously fund a lot of stuff that we see at Treyarch, Infinity Ward, and Sledgehammer, but what if Activision just weren't part of this entire situation, and those studios could just release the game that they actually wanted to release with the DLC model that they actually wanted to release with? That would be so much freaking better than what we have right now, but it's constantly just a fight with Activision over what they're doing to the Call of Duty series. But ladies and gentlemen, that's all I have for you guys here today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave your thoughts and feedback on all of today's topics down there in the comment section below. It's weird. I sought out today just to start talking about stackable kill streaks in Call of Duty World War II, and now here we are talking about Black Ops 4. But once again, guys, thank you so much for listening, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.
Kobe!